Hello, hello, and welcome. I'm not gonna stall too much here for the intro, but, yeah, no, let's just get right into it. Alright. First off, I just want to mention, yeah, I know I usually don't do commentary for these, but I will probably be doing more videos like this in the future, where I commentate over what I'm doing, instead of just posting gameplay of it, effectively. But that's about all I really have to say about it. Anyways. The ship today is gonna be the last one of the current ships that I haven't done yet. And that being, like, see. Now, this ship has a lot going for it. Like, it starts with 2 crew, 5 DPS, and reasonably decent HP. Like, the deep core is a little on the lower side, but Gene Soldier's pretty good. And the commander is generally going to be pretty good on HP. The lowest HP can get 60. That's pretty fine. And the commanders that can get 60 HP, they've gotten something to compensate for it. Like, Cannibal has the healing from kill and whatnot. Because that's just stun, and Assassin's just really fast. Which can allow you to avoid damage. Anyways. There's the things that the ship, outside of the crew that it starts with, is Rift Bomb. Rift Bomb is an amazing missile. The subspace region one. And also just doing 2 damage, 1 mission every 10 seconds is pretty good. Outside of that, though, the rest of the ship isn't that great. Like, the rooms are a little awkward. The 1x2 weapons is not great. Generally want these important systems to be 2x2s. And having weapons being this is a little odd. Doors and sensors are in an awkward position all the way over here. It's a long ship. Like, if you want to take crew that was here, repair over here, it's going to take ages. Probably won't do that, but other ships don't really have as much of this problem. Especially at the winding path where you have to go up and then down to get to something like shields. But everything else is more than enough to compensate and more. Anyways, early on this ship's gonna play pretty simple. All things considered, really not. All you're gonna really do in the early game is just board shields and let shields blow up and then farm the rest of the hull with heat beam and the graviton. The mirrored fire control is nice to have. Like, this little thing, it's nice, but it doesn't really do anything too impactful. Like, the first salvo of hitting that is nice. But in the late game, it's gonna be pretty irrelevant. Like, even if you get something that works well with it, like if you select it or something, this is gonna be pretty irrelevant with mirrored fire control. Which is doubling your first shot. And the graviton and the heat beam. This isn't... Like, the heat beam's amazing to the boss. Like, fires are really good against the boss, but the graviton's pretty... It's good, it's just not that great. Compared to the rest. It's definitely better than something like... there's actually really not that many bad 1-power weapons, now that I think about it. Most of them are pretty good. I guess Bravik Ray on this ship would be really bad, because then you'd have to use the Rift Bomb to deal damage. Anyways. I will note that this ship, with how stacked you start with your crew, like you have Gene Soldier, Deep Core, and your commander, starting out, you really don't need to go to crew shops, like, at all. If you really need like equipment, like a weapon or something, or tools, going to a mercenary shop can be nice. But really outside of that one reason, there's not really a good point to go into the crew shop. So you're much better off focusing on trying to get some sort of system or whatnot. And of the systems you want to get, Hull Reaper is especially good on this ship, because due to the low amount of projectiles on the ship, having something like Hull Reaper to capitalize on the graviton, just so take this for example, like with this ship it has one shield and the graviton can pop it for one, and then the heat beam can set some fires and whatnot. And that's how you start out with, and that's nice and all, but it won't actually deal damage to a system at all, or it'll just stall repairs, or the damage will come delayed or something like that. Where, if you then have Hull Reaper, especially in the early game, you can use like Graviton break shields and then you use Hull Reaper to lessen the system power on your enemy ships. So, just as like an early game purchase, this is great. It's good on every ship for an early game purchase, but in particular with this ship, it's very good due to the fact that it works well with the Graviton. The other early game system, for systems, it's really just getting Hull Reaper shield charger for literally every single ship anyways. Just due to the inherent strength of these systems, they're both incredibly good. Hull Reaper, outside of what I previously mentioned, just as a weapon in general, it's really good. Like, having the beam that can hit 4, sometimes 5 rooms, like in the case of this ship, I can hit all 5 of these rooms right here. And this can also happen on a few other ships. I don't believe any of the bosses you can hit 5, but on one of the mini-bosses, at least Necrophage, you can hit 5 rooms. In multiple places, actually. And the cooldown on Hull Reaper is fairly nice as well. It's 28 at level 1, which is a bit slow, but at level 2 at 15, it's really good. 15 seconds for a beam that does 4 damage when shields are down, and 3 if you do a nice corner swipe. With corner swipe, I mean something like that. Going from this corner here and then just clipping all 3 of these rooms nearly at the same time. Sadly, I don't think I could get shield charger if I wanted, if I were to sell some stuff. Like, I could sell the heat beam one right here. Heat beam one and the fortress shield, and I could get shield charger. I do want the heat beam one, but I don't think it outvalues shield charger, so I'll be doing that. A little tip with system placement. You already saw it with my Hull Reaper, but you want to put systems in 2x2s, like, systems that are very important to you, like that you want to keep online. Like, with how good Hull Reaper is, you generally want to keep this online, so putting it in a 2x2 so that you can put more crew in the room and repair it faster is very beneficial. In this case, I don't have any 2x2s left, so I'm going to probably put it here. The reason why I'm not putting it here is that if there's like a beam swipe or something and it hits weapons, I don't want it to also hit my shield charger. I would rather hit either my weapons or my shield charger. In this case, it'll hit Missile Bay, and here I'll hit Hull Reaper, and here I'll hit shields. I don't like putting both of my shield systems next to each other, because I don't want, like, if a beam swipe, say, hits shields, and then it'll go up, it'll almost guaranteed from this position go up into shield charger, and then I'll lose all of my defensive capability. And even worse in this case, I'll even go into engine, so I don't even have like a way to gamble out of the damage through evasion. Anyways, that's my reasoning behind why I wouldn't put it next to shields in particular. You can do it, and you probably won't exhibit any downside to it for like most encounters, or rather like 99.5% of encounters. This probably not going to matter at all, but in the 0.5% that it does, I'd rather have like somewhere that might matter a bit more, because it's free to place my systems, so I may as well place them where I would like them. Alright. Also, another little note about this ship. Deep core If you're struggling with possessed ships on the ship, I mean, the deep core is kind of here to deal with the possessed ships, because suffocation immunity and high DPS makes them very good into these ships. I could save my graviton shot so I can get Retributor in them. But the deep core is written here just so you can deal with these list. Oh, also one note. With the new update, you actually have a slight buff, plus 1 DPS attack, which is pretty nice. Doesn't really do that much though. Helps with possessions though, which is chill. Won't help you with the worst possessed ship demon to get, which is technically just caps your DPS to 3, but it's nice. Anyways, outside of just using the D-core, just killing those demons that usually spawn on the enemy demon ships, just use the D-core to sabotage shields if there's no demons left. At that point, I would probably just shoot Graviton into the demonic parts. Because if you're... So, a little thing about possessed ships, if you haven't noticed, if you do play this game, if you don't have a version, but if you do play this game and you've been fighting possessed ships, a way to delay the repairs is that if you have a crew member in one of their rooms, say like, I don't know, the shields room, if you're just sitting there in there with a crew, the demonic ship can't repair if there's no like demons that you're fighting in that. Like if you're actively fighting a demon, it will repair the system, but if you're just alone in the room, it can't actually repair that system. So you can use that to like just sit the deep core and something like shields, and then you can use the graviton to like pelt weapons or the demonic heart and such. Alrighty. This is an unfortunate generation. Imperial Shrine doesn't give any scrap, so by that it's fairly bad. The Pledge is okay. Imperial Crew is a little on the pricier side, but it's not that bad. It also does give repair and full crew heal. I don't need full crew heal. Repair is okay here, but not priority. The planetary assaults, though. So, planetary assaults are pretty hit or miss. Like, you can get a lot from the planetary assaults, a lot of scrap and whatnot. But on the other hand, you can also get like not a lot of stuff. Like effectively, how good your planetary fortress is dependent on how good the large crate on the planetary fortress is. If I get a sector 4 planetary, I'll point it at the large crate, but it's effectively what it sounds like. It's just a larger crate. It has more stuff in it, and if the crate drops scrap, it'll drop a fair bit. If it drops a weapon or equipment, the whole value, effectively, of that planetary fortress is dependent on what generates as the little equipment or the weapon or such. Because you can get something like, I don't know, Burden I've gotten from one of the large crates, I believe. And Burden is like a 5 scrap cell spell. Oh, I've also gotten Psychic Shriek, which is also a 5 scrap cell spell. Which is terrible compared to the, like, up to like 36 something. I don't know the max scrap, but you can get around like 30-ish scrap from that event. And due to that variance, planetary fortresses are sometimes just not worth it, just economically speaking, like from scrap. And on the other side of things, planetary fortresses can be incredibly deadly. They can generate really nasty things. Like, I've gotten something like Siege Bombard and Auto Disruptor planetary fortress before, and that was not fun at all. They can also generate with stuff like Macro Devastator and Sector 2, which is absurd. That's a lot. But yeah, in general, they can just generate with really potent stuff, and it's up to total RNG if you do get like a pretty easy Planetary Fortress in terms of their threats, or a very potent one. So in general, if you can go to the Planetary Fortress, what I've been doing is just I go to the Planetary Fortresses as long as it doesn't prevent me from going to like a shop or something, or at least a shop that I want to go to, which is why in this case I avoided the Planetary Fortress. Not only because, well, the main reason being it exhibited a path. Like, I didn't want to go into the Imperial Shrine, it would have been a waste of time. I wouldn't really have gotten much, and I had no interest in Imperial crew, so it would have just been a waste of my time, and therefore I would have gotten less scrap overall. The other reason being that the shop on the map, I really wanted to go to the, I believe it was the system shop instead of the other shop that was down there. I'd have to look at it real quick. I still don't remember exactly what it was, but I believe it was an armament? No, it was Psyker. Okay. And as I said earlier, you don't really need to go for a crew or in the early game for this. If this was an armament shop, I would have gone to it as well. Armor shop's actually up here, but it's fine because I actually do get double shop here, and an armament can be good on this ship, but I wouldn't go to a shop purely for armaments, like, ever. Because you can roll like this. Like, this is an okay weapon, but both of these weapons are just terrible. And even if you find a good weapon, chances are it's like 60 scrap to get it, and 60 scrap is a lot at this point. Alright. I'm also gonna get this shop, which this shop should be pretty good. Despite it being crew, the part that I'm interested in here is equipment. I have a good chance of finding something that's good. Like, Arc Talents is nice and all, but it's just extra DPS at the end of the day, which doesn't really... It helps, but right now what I want to do equipment-wise is find some on-kill effects. So that's... my boarding is just infinitely stronger. Like, depending on the on-kill effect that you can find, you can get a okay boarding crew to a very good boarding crew. Nice, Marshall. If you get that event where it says, like, attempt to rescue or whatnot, I would generally try to do the attempt to rescue. I don't think there's a downside to doing it. Either you get some random crew member, or... I'm not sure if it can fail, but I'm pretty sure if it does fail, it gets scrapped. But I don't believe it can. I know there's a couple of events though that are like, oh well, at least one of them. Alright. Let's Hull Reaper from there. Alright. And that should be that. Nice. Alright. Now, I will note, this run I am getting pretty lucky. Like, I got both Shield Charger and Hull Reaper. So, this run is shaping up to be fairly easy. Like, having both of the crucial, like, these are the systems I would consider crucial. The rest are, like, depending on your run, they can be very good or very bad. Or very good or not that useful, rather. And in this case, I just have both of these, and this is going to be very nice in this case. My starting system to do my starting card. This is a nice on-kill effect weapon. This is exactly what I was looking for. Gore Sludge giving the kill 6 blood for 10 damage is very good, and outside of that, just getting 2 DPS and then 2 DPS plus 100 HP enemy crew is just, that's a really good stat line. in general. I'm gonna get rid of the prismatic. I don't really like prismatic. I will be using it, because I don't think it sells for a lot. Yeah, this is 12. Compared to Fortress Shield, which sells for 15. And prismatic can get some decent use on Deep Core. With his HP limitation at 50, getting the non-exceed by 2. The reason why I didn't use Fortress Shield here for the plus 20 HP is that I really don't want him to get the movement speed penalty, especially when I'm not boarding with him right now. And in the late game, I'm probably not going to board with him anyway, unless if I'm desperate. So, there's that. He's really only here for the early mid-game for Possessed. At least with how I've been using him. And if you need him for boarding in the late game, he's there. With the 5 DPS. Although I generally suggest, if you're going to be boarding with Deep Core in the late game, you want some either good healing, decent ways to prevent damage, like Drain Strength, or Stun on Kill, or something like that. Or just ludicrously high DPS, to the point where, like, it just doesn't matter that you have a low base HP. Like in the case of Cannibal. He has a low base HP, but he can do such a ludicrous amount of damage and also gets heals on kills, to the point, like, you don't really need to be concerned about his base HP because he's healing on kill and just has so much DPS from killing that it just doesn't matter if you're just gonna heal up all the damage. Alright. A little note about sectors. Planetary fortresses can only generate in sectors that aren't special. So by that I mean like stuff like bubonic territories or Aerokine domain. There is an exception to this, being Imperial Shrine Worlds is a special sector, but planetary fortresses can generate in Imperial Shrine Worlds. It's the only exception to this. But outside of that, it's essentially only non-special sectors, and exclusion zones can also not generate with this, the fortress. Alright, I'm gonna try to get this Gene Soldier killed and just fire on weapons. Shield charger here, so I resist all of this. And I'll hit O2 against the Gene Soldiers. If they lose their O2, I'll just blow up and die. Alright. I could Hull Reaper here to finish the fight soon, but I don't have Hull to repair, so there's not really a point. Nor is this enemy really threatening me. Alright. I could bring the Marshal to the boarding, actually. Rearrange like this. So, I didn't think when I was actually placing these crew, but doors is generally a lot more valuable than operating this system, or this system. Now, I'll keep a guy here, just so I can jump out with convenience. But with these two systems, I generally prioritize operating doors over. Mainly due to the fact that if you do get like a boarding event or something, or just enemy crew boards you through like launch bay or something, that having a guy on doors just to be able to like vent them or something and like maneuver where they're gonna be going is very valuable. And if you don't have someone starting on doors at the start of like when they do board, or if the vent triggers, it can be a lot more difficult to deal with them, especially like on certain ships like Imperial B. This is incredibly important. Imperial B doesn't have a really good crew to deal with anti-boarders, so having someone on doors on that ship, or at least nearby to go on doors, is almost a necessity. Alright. Just to not die, rather. Alright. I'm gonna upgrade shields going into the Raid Shrine. Raid Shrine's probably gonna bring my scrap level back up to around 100 due to... Raid Shrine gives you 3 combat events if you pledge, total. Like, you'll get this one, which is just the fight before you pledge. And then you'll get a option to pledge after. And if you do pledge, you'll get effectively 2 more fights. Yeah, see, I get 26 scrap there, and I can pledge, and then I'll get another fight here. And this fight, combined with the next fight, is most likely just going to give me enough to recoup what I spent, and allow me to spend that scrap then at the shop that I'm coming. Which is another system shop, and luckily that system shop also has equipment, so... does 2 things. I can either find like a boarding support system like Graviton or a Terra Amplifier, or I can just find some really good equipment. Or both, really. I'm gonna save my armaments, just so I can hopefully use mirror fire control against the last one, although it doesn't look like I need to. A little, slight note here, the last fight will always generate with at least 1 Chaos Knight for the commander. But outside of that, the crew is pretty random. Alright. I'm gonna hypnosis these guys. I'm gonna full kill this, most likely. So, hypnosising one of the Berserker here. Oh wow. Hypnosising the Berserker here to just do the anti-boarding for me is going to be pretty convenient. And it'll last 20 seconds, so I don't really need to worry immediately about getting to the Berserker or wherever he was to deal with him once he gets unmind controlled, which is going to happen in 2 seconds. Alright. Getting hit a couple times with the Terra Missile, which is a little annoying. I'm not going to use my Drift. I don't want to use up my munitions right now. At least I don't want to use my munitions in the case of Rift Bomb because it doesn't heal me. With Reaper, you can really get away with it. Not only am I going to... oh well, I guess I'll fire completely because the Terra's going to hit it. But... it'll allow me to heal a little bit, which is going to be very nice. Alright, I got Rejuvenate. That's pretty good. I don't think I'm going to put on Harris immediately. I don't believe... actually, you got the debuff for cannot rest for 3 jumps. I think I won't put it on there. If I can get a better Psyker for Rejuvenate, that would be nice. Because my thought process behind that is that Harris is likely going to be boarding in the late game, so if I could get a different Psyker that isn't going to be boarding, I could then use the Rejuvenate while I'm boarding. If I go to like, I'm going up to like Sector 5 and I still don't have like a Psyker, I can do that. Then I'm probably just going to put it on Harris, but outside of that, probably not. I think I'm going to put Graviton here. The reason is that I'm going to have crew over here, so I may as well allow them to be close to a system so that they can prepare it. Because I'm probably going to have a crew member on sensors eventually. Now, I'm probably going to get Wrath, yeah. Because if I do get a Lance, just making sure I'll hit is pretty valuable. Lances can really turn the tables into your favor. And making sure that that is consistent is going to be critical. Carnivore Hatch is a little bit of a meme. It has a niche. It can kill any crew member in the game in like 1 hit. If they're in your launch bay room, and only if they're in here. Because you'll use the load crew if there's enemy crew here, and they'll eat them for 140 damage. It's good when it works. sometimes. Like, putting crew on your ship intentionally, or just unintentionally for anti-boarding, if they just board you. Like, killing crew on your ship is generally not that valuable. Like, crew on your ship is crew that you can't kill on their ship for system damage. Like, if say some of these crew members went over to my ship, I wouldn't want to ideally I would like to send this crew member back somehow to their ship so that I can deal more damage to their systems. In this case, I don't really have a method to do that, but if I did, it would be ideal. And Carnivore Hatch is kind of against that philosophy of that you want crew members to not be on your ship, and you want them to be on the enemy ship so that you can kill them for system damage. So, there's really no benefit to having Carnivore Hatch. If it got something in addition to it, like every crew member killed through Carnivore Hatch, like healed you for one hole or something like that, then it would be like, okay, I have this module, now I can, you know, kill someone on my ship, and then I actually get a benefit like Hull Reaper. But as of right now, it's not that great. Alright. I'm gonna use Graviton here. It's probably not gonna do as well due to just the speed of these berserkers that can almost resist it. Yeah. Alright. Probably gonna be going to the mini-boss that's coming up. I believe, yeah, I should be more than capable of dealing with whatever the mini-boss has. So I will go. The mini-boss I'm going to be getting, due to I am in a cult sector, cult sectors and exclusions will generate Necrophage as the Sector 3 mini-boss. Or rather, a major threat. And Necrophage is a boss that is not that bad if you have boarding. Like, if you have decent boarding, it's fairly easy to just kill most of their crew. And just absolutely, like, just blow up shields, then fire weapons at them until they die, essentially. Although at 8 hull, at least at Torment 12, at 8 hull, they will get a forced activation of a demonic heart that also repairs all of their systems. This can be fairly difficult. It's the boss demonic heart that can repair 3 systems at a time and all that, so it's not great, but you do have to deal with it. And if you don't kill out the crew, the O2 will remain on their ship. They also get some revenants, so you can just reboard and just kill the revenants on shields and then last the remaining 8 hull, which is probably what I'm going to do here. Alright. Though I will say, do not early crew the Necrophage. Early kill all of the crew on Necrophage. Like, before 8 hull, if you do it, it will evacuate all the oxygen in the ship, I believe. Or rather, if O2 is destroyed and you kill the crew, it will do that, I believe. And they'll also get that demonic heart at a hull higher than 8, and then it's going to be very hard to kill. Anyways. Both of these shops aren't great. I'm gonna go for crew. At this point in the game, at Sector 3, I would like some additional crew. I have translocators here, but I already have Thrice Cursed Reliquaries, so it's not that great. I'm gonna get Electro Baton, though. Electro Baton for stun is, quite frankly, it's just amazing. Stun on kill is one of the most broken things in this game right now. Just being able to get a kill, stun, and then that stun gives you time to get then another kill, and so on and so forth, and it just keeps going. You just get a giant stun chain at which you don't take any damage, and you're just dealing so much free damage back. Alas. Alright, I want to get this Conqueror. Marshall would also be good, because I do have the combat shield, right? Yeah. But I'm not sure that actually does anything. Yeah, Marshall with combat shield is only slightly, it's slightly worse than Conqueror. Unless if you're in a fire, in which Marshall is kind of nuts. With the plus 3 DPS. But outside of that, Conqueror is slightly better. Unless if you have like Assault Shield or something. Alright. I'm gonna put the Dark Matter Prisms on these guys, why not? What can I sell though? I could sell Rift Bomb, but I don't want to do that. Oh, by the way, I did pick up an Incendiary Missile for the fire. It's gonna replace what my Heat Beam is. Fire's very, as I said, fire is very good against the bust, so having some form to deal lots of it, it's gonna be nice. I could sell the Rejuvenate. But with Conqueror, Conqueror would benefit a lot from Rejuvenate. I might just pass. Well, like, what? Hold on, I could sell this. Yeah. I could just sell the Arctons. Alright. Let's put you there. And this is more than enough to kill all of the crew of Necrophage. I'm not gonna do that, but I do want to kill most. Alright. Let's put these in the front. I like to put my consumable users in front, or rather my ability users in front of just crew that don't have it, because I don't need to look at whatever these guys have up here. Alright. Yeah, just more shields. I can do it. Should have, yeah. So, a little neat thing is that the Gore Sludge and the stun is pretty much going to allow me to circumvent the DPS reduction, because look at all these crew are very low HP, and then when I kill one of them, they're just all going to blow up, because all these crew don't have high base HPs. So every kill I get is going to stun, and then it's going to deal 10 damage, which is just going to kill all of them effectively, or if not kill, it's going to make them so damaged to the point where they're probably going to die really soon. And with the low DPS that I got from the transfer, that's just about that. I'm going to try to take this crate forward. Try the ret into this. This one is 3-shot and this one's 2-shot. This is a thunder cannon with 2 shots. Yeah, thunder bombard, 2 shots. And each of them do 2 damage, and this will do 3 shots of damage. This one, in this case, can penetrate my shields. This one can't on its own. So disabling this one and just leaving this one on fire is usually more than enough. Alright, I'm gonna Rift Bomb. Just to keep this prepared to lane. I'm also gonna... This is it. As long as this guy stays alive, I'm gonna be fairly happy. Right, I want to launch bay. I want to interrupt this guy, because I don't want him to suffocate in this room. I don't want all their crew to die. Okay, well, he's just gonna suffocate anyway. But I really don't want all their crew to die. At least yet. Just making sure I don't deal a little bit too much damage. I want to deal 1 more damage, and then I want to let everything charge back up. So then, when I get to... Oh, this Flushling could just kill him if he so chooses. So thankfully I'm at like the mark where it's gonna happen, but interrupt you. Where's my watch? Oh, 2 of them are in. Alright. Yeah, okay. So it just, yeah, didn't evacuate any of the... Didn't evacuate the oxygen, but didn't that didn't... Okay, it's 4. Nice. I thought that was a very low number. Oh, that Rift Bomb missing there is terrible. Yeah, okay, there we go. Shield charger that. Alrighty. Did get very low on the HP on my crew, but that should be okay. Because I should have dead in a moment. Yeah, okay, there we go. 46 scrap, and alright. Chaos Rifts are pretty nice. That's something I can put on Harris and not really be too upset about. It's an instant cast. And yeah, I won't have any downside if I board with Harris. Doom Effigy is also pretty appealing here. Doom Effigy is the best of the bound demons that you can get from this. Just having summon skeleton that does 2 skeletons like every 20 seconds or so is really nice. It's just generally going to be chipping and distracting that enemy crew. And besides that, it's also just nice at anti-boarding with its nice tanky amount of HP. I think I'll be getting the Chaos Rifts and putting one on Harris. Might sell the second one, might use it. Really depends on the kind of crew that I get. Alright. Yeah, I'm not gonna wait here. I'm just gonna jump. Alright. Sure, I didn't use the Necrophage. Didn't really seem to be worthwhile. Okay, this is the last crew on this ship. Nice. If it's like Sector 1 to 3, if they have a Chaos Knight or something on there, and it's not like a specific event like the War Cult Shrine, it's more than likely that that is they're gonna have 2 crew on their ship, one of them being the commander, the other being the bulky crew, which can be really any of the chunky ones. Like, it could be Blood Knights, it could be Assault Cyborgs, Servo Excavators, Centurions. Sectors 1 through 3, it's usually just going to be 2 crew. Alright. All of these are special sectors, and planetary fortresses spawn in Sector 2 and Sector 4. And with all of these being special sectors, it means I can get a sector or a planetary fortress, which isn't that bad. Alright. Raider Clan Worlds is the longest sector in the game, I believe. It has a few more empty nodes compared to other special sectors. But other than that, it's about the same. I do have Raider Crew, though. I don't have any Death Cult Crew. Although bubonic events are actually not that bad. Or rather, Death Cult events. Infernal Sea is also decent with SDF encounters. I think I'm gonna go to Infernal Sea. Mainly because all of those sectors are fairly comparable, and the Infernal Sea gives me 2 choices for my next sector, whereas the other ones just give me, I believe, 1 choice. And I believe that is going to be a civilian sector, which could be a special one, but could also just be nothing. I forgot to put Dark Matter Prisms back on my boarding crew. That is not great. And that is Mind Control. Move out this way. Oh, there we go. Move. You go to engines. Oh my gosh. Where's the double throw? prevent you out of awareness here. I'll get one kill here. It's kind of neat. Alright. I don't want to deal with this. Yeah, immediately sector 4, get more than one blood knight. Anyway. I want to distract this guy, I don't want to have to sabotage. Same with this guy. So I'm just gonna move him around the room. Okay, yeah, and then we're fine. There was a mind control that went out though, so I'll move all of these crew into different rooms. Yep, and then I'll retain their positions. I'm gonna try to kill this with purely gunfire. It should be fine, especially at the double fire rift bomb. If there's anything that the mirror fire control on the ship does well, it's that getting the rift bomb to fire twice is fantastic. Getting 2 breaches and 4 damage is fantastic. Alright. Alrighty. Mechanic. That'll be a nice shot. Don't really have much of a choice, but... Alright. I'm gonna board with both Harris and the Conqueror here. These Necrolurches are very annoying. But the carcasses I should be able to kill quickly. So, I get 1 carcass into this room, which I did. I should be able to just kill the carcass and go on my way and get some system damage. What I could do is actually hypnosis that, so that the Necrolurch just doesn't. Alright. I'm gonna take this, the chest real quick and then just leave. I won't have enough HP to do much else. Yeah, I'm gonna shield her. Wow, damage through shield charge. Alright, Rift Bomb. Nice. And let's put everything into weapons. Yeah. That should kill. There we go. Bless me. Sorry. Alrighty. Where do I want to put this? Suppose I'll put it on the Conqueror instead of the Marshal. Marshal is slightly less DPS, so. To get kill effects as quickly as you possibly can, you generally want to put your weapons on your highest DPS crew so that that one crew can focus down one crew of the enemies, so that they can kill that, and then you can get your on-kill effects going, which in this case I have 2 weapons that do 10 damage to all other crew on a kill and stun, so it's gonna be pretty beneficial. I'm gonna get 1 cryofoam here, just for good luck. Cryofoam's just a little funny consumable. It doesn't really do anything. Oh, it extinguishes all fire aboard your ship, which can be useful on some ships, like the ones without sensors or going into Imperial Battle Arc for your mini-boss. But outside of that, it's not that useful. I'm gonna upgrade Toll Reaper to level 2 to get that cooldown. I don't really need systems anymore. Like, I can't buy any. Demonic Lance is a thing. I'll have it. May as well use the Ion Tunneler. It's doing a lot more good for me if I actually use it rather than just keep it there and do nothing with it. It's not like I'm really going to sell it due to the quality of my armaments. It's gonna... Oh, so rather, the quality of my armaments is fairly high. Like, all these 2 weapons are good. This is a very good weapon, and Ion Tunneler is actually... It can be good, although it's a little hit and missy with the spread on it. fact that it doesn't contact shields, so... Alright. I don't want to hypnosis that long. Oh, little fun fact about fires and enemy borders. And this, you can also use this to your advantage. Oh, ion tunneler. But fires and enemy borders sabotaging the system both work together. So if you, like, if they're both happening at the same time, your system will go down very fast. They work at the same damage that they do, I suppose how you want to put it. Like, the little red bar that you get, both borders and fires will contribute to that. So if they work in conjunction, you can lose a system very fast, and also it can throw you off a little bit if you have, say, you kill that border and the fire's still going on the room. The damage will still be, it'll be retained by the fire, and then the fire could just, like, do the last little bit of damage that the border could finish up. It happens. It doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen. Alright. Shield trigger. I'm not going to fire my ion tunneler. In this case, there isn't much of a point to, like, what am I going to ion? That's actually going to be valuable. Like, maybe the demonic hurt, but that's a 1x1. And it's very unlikely to grab targets. And I don't need to ion their weapons, nor do I need to ion their hull. So, if something were to go awry, like, I don't know, somehow they repaired their shields or something like that, I would rather have this ion tunneler for, like, when they do repair something, I can delay it actually doing something. Like, if shields gets repaired, I could fire the ion tunneler at it, and it won't, the shields won't be up, at least at full capacity. And it'll help me continuously deal with it. Whereas if I just fired at something that's low value, then it does get repaired. I only have the ability and such, and it can cause some problems. I think I gained more HP in that order actually than I lost due to Harris's plus 5 HP on kill. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, there's a hound there. That will kill my ass. Just alrighty. I am using launch bay here. Like, I could use the dark matter prisms, but there's not really much of a need to, and I could just save up a giant stockpile of them. And that stockpile, then I could get, where are the words? I could use that stockpile for later when the module that I've been getting these from is just Vice Curse Reliquary, which gives me a Dark Metal Prism most times when defeating an enemy, but not all times. It will allow me to consistently use it and not worry about running out. Like, I do have a lot in my inventory right now. Like, I have 2 on these husks, and I have a fair few, and I'm just not equipping right now. Partly because I can't. But just having a built-up stockpile of them is going to be useful, so I may as well use launch bay, but there's not really much of a downside to doing so. Like, in this case, I got a launch bay directly to their shields, which, if it's not a boss or a mini-boss, you're pretty likely to get a launch bay into the system you want. So, using launch bay instead of the dark matter prisms when you can, if you have both, is beneficial. Alright. Get the high temperature and let's just go to the shot, see what happens. What do you go on? How much HP do you have? 15? I'm gonna send Harris here, and... yeah. Might lose something. Yeah, okay. Nice. Alright. Machine pistol. That's something, I guess. May as well use it. And nothing else. Okay. I am missing out on stuff like Purified. Like, I have Rejuvenate. I don't have slot to use it, but... well, anymore. But I do have it, so I can get a Psyker to put it on, really. Alright. Retributor 2 is pretty tempting here. Actually, I'll get it. It'll just make my armament that just that much better. I'll keep the Ion Tunneler on. And, just put some power into my engines, because the first, like, 2 upgrades of engines are incredibly cheap. So, there's really no downside to getting those. Well, there's very little downside to getting those, like, first 1 or 2 engine upgrades. I'd still prioritize other things over it, but if you have the scrap and you don't really know where else to put it, you may as well put it there. Now, it's a little shame. If I had a difficultist in this event, I would have gotten, like, a free armament or something, but alas. I will not. I should still get standard reward, though, so I should be fine. I also got that crate there. Yeah, nice. I am filling up on dark matter prisms. I may have to start discard some of them soon. Like, next shop, I'm probably gonna sell, like, 4 of them. I have too big of a stockpile of these guys. Good up, Porky. And grab that. I want a crew kill here, but I don't want this mind control to go here. Because if this mind control goes into this room, it's not going to be... oh, I could do this, though. And I could kill them on my ship. This is a niche scenario where killing them on your ship is actually good. It's partly... it was mainly to avoid the mind control, but it also allowed me to hold a little bit faster. So I'll be leveraging all of the possible DPS on my ship on the enemy crew. And of course you get another one. Alright. Let's mind control it. Move you here. No, nice. Oh, that's not good. Let's put them in launch pad so I dodge it. Yep. There we go. I want to break the bomb map with some release the weird fire control. I won't fire that. Maybe I should have. Alright. I will start firing the iron. That is a thing you can do with launch engines and dodge various spells. Yeah, I'll use Hull Reaper here. I'll just let that kill that to a decent degree. Alrighty. Oh, this is a fun event. There's a lot of outcomes to this if you do the spare your flux capacitors. And there's one that can give you a bunch of rewards. Give them all. And if you get here, I believe it is scan for signals. And there is like a 50% chance if you get here that you'll get like a bunch of scrap and like 1 or 2 armaments or something. I just lost the 50-50 there. So, sucks a bit, but what can you do? Alright. Technical is a little more appealing with my engineer. Alrighty. You can go shop here. Shine's not really gonna do much good when I would rather roll for something like modules, really. Modules and missile templates. Yeah, so they're seraphic. Although I have no lances. Mirrored fire controls unironically better. That sucks. Terror missiles a little interesting. Rust isn't that great. I'm gonna get some munitions just so I will not run out. Very unlikely, but I don't want to spend like some of my time in the shipyard to get munitions of all things. Shiv? No. Yeah, no, I don't think I can really get much else here. Yeah, I don't want to say. I want to get a crew shot, so I'm gonna go get a shot. I need more crew. Just so I can use all these tools I have. So I will be going to both shipyards purely just to build husks. Oh, that is a slave container. Yeah. I prayed for crew. Fair crew here. Oh, hey, this is very I want a chaos ring though. Hopefully it hits before. Yeah, there we go. And then they go back on the ship. Oh, there's a Flux Priest in there. Flux Priests got buffed to do more damage upon their death. So I would be careful. Like, if I were to kill the Flux Priest in this room right now, I would lose my function. The Gore Sludge. Oh my gosh. I forgot about that explosive damage. Okay, well. Ay. You live and you learn. And oh my gosh, I'm playing totally terribly. I forgot to pick up a crate, so. Ay. I was originally planning to crit kill in my head, and then I got thrown off by the Flux Priest. And then I ended up blowing up the whole ship. Oh my gosh. Ay. Alrighty. I'll put this on. Conqueror benefits from it most. Well, it looks like I might be using the deep core after all. I pressed the wrong button. Wow. I'm playing very well, aren't I? That is fantastic. Let's dump that, some of the cheats over here. Let's set that up. The ion tunnel over here. Okay, didn't, but got close. Oh my gosh. That's hypnosis here. And then chaos right there. Put out the fire. And shields, get the shields down so I can do more damage. Here's what I'm talking about, the corner swipes with Lord. So that get 2 clear damage, depending on how well you do this one. At least I have this clear shot coming up. Otherwise I'd be in a little bit of a pickle. I would be fine probably, but I've been at it. I want it to be that clean. Alright, Chaos Rift here. Thankfully I didn't have my stun on my Royal Marshal, otherwise I would have lost it. That would have been tragic. Hypnosis in here so it delays the turns. Oh, and that's fantastic. He's gonna be killing some shotguns, hopefully. He won't. It's still pretty good though. Just blow him out. Not much else to do. Alright. Drain Strength is pretty appealing here. I will get rid of the mini shield. Actually, no, I'll get rid of those. Wait, no, I don't need to. I can just put them on. Alright. Oh, wow. Okay. You're real fantastic. You're also nice. I'm gonna get you for the Psyker slot. For the Psyker slot. Definitely using him for things other than that, but... Alright. I'm gonna put Rejuvenate on the Death Knight. He is gonna be boarding, and per the logic of Paris, Drain Strength would be better, but... Specifically, if I get Necrobarge, not having healing is going to be pretty rough into that fight. So I want to avoid getting into a situation like that. So I'm going to get healing instead. What do you have? Okay. I want you to drop your mini shield. So my idea I'm gonna do here is I'm going to put Dark Minor Prisms on this guy, Fusion Shirt to stun him, so that these two can get into a room with each other and they can teleport Fusion Charge. Same with these two houses right here. Alright. And let's arrange them in such so I can remember it. Interesting, the little names get blurred out when you take the shot. Anyway. Ashen Priest is a little tempting. I don't need this other Chaos Rift. I don't need the other... Oh, I didn't need the antidote. Whatever. I thought I had a second one. Anyway. I guess the Ashen. Might keep the Mind Bolt. Mind Bolt is pretty good, but if I need to, I'll probably replace the Mind Bolt with Drain Strength. And he also has a tool set. Alright. it. Yep. Replace the prison and let's move on. Alright, what boss am I going to be getting? Can range from Starflare, which is going to be pretty easy, to Necrobarge, which is not going to be as easy, but should be more than able to take it, yeah. So it's going to be Necrobarge. If you wanted to kind of consider, so it'd beat up the worst case scenario, probably. Like, Dimension isn't that bad with what I have. Like, if you have Shield Charger, Dimension is really not that bad. If you don't have it, though, it can be comparably difficult to Necrobarge, just in a different aspect. Where Necrobarge is very good at just suppressing you and just atrophying your ship to the point where you can't really do anything. Dimension is just really good at chipping your hull down. Alright, I'm gonna get the Cyber Priest. He's got a tool slot and he's also just generally very tanky, so... let's put the Ashen in Hull Reaper. Alright. Do I have an archery shot? I don't, but I have a system on. I'm gonna get the assault, the combat husk, just purely so I can do some anti-boarding against the bloat mites that are gonna be spawning on my ship in the Necrobarge fight. In addition, I think Thirsting Glaive, although I did disarm it a little bit earlier, I don't really care about scrap right now. And the plus 10 HP for the combat husk will allow it to effectively kill so many bloat mites that it will just out-heal the poison damage it's going to be taking. And with the resistance as well, it's going to work pretty well. Fairly expensive for what he's going to be doing, but I really think it's going to be worth it. I may as well spend my scrap into something that's going to be worthwhile. Or at least destroy enough of their systems. Heavy. Well, that's not heavy. Shield Charger. And Recall. Then I can Rejuvenate. Ion Type. And Fire. Probably should have destroyed the force shield before I fired all of my weapons. Thankfully, it didn't really matter. I'm gonna fire the crap punch on the shield break. Or shield's just gonna blow up the fire. Nice. And we got the Dark Matter Prism back. Fantastic. Rejuvenate here. And be on my way. Probably just gonna get another husk here. I don't know. Put on sensors. Actually, what I could do, a husk here, put the combat husk and sensors. Alright. Once this pass, I'm going to teleport and grab it. It'll allow these guys to do a lot of free damage, and these guys should just die anyway, so it shouldn't be that bad. I'm gonna Mind Bolt you once they kill here. Graviton didn't last that long. The idea is that there's going to be a bunch in this room and I was going to Mind Bolt all of them. Which kind of still happened because it's done saving it, but... didn't happen nearly to the degree that I was hoping. Not like it really matters, though. Alright. I'll just get the necrotizing agents. May as well. Well, but they'll actually be pretty good anti-orders for the bloat mites that are going to be spawning on my ship. I'll take one dark matter prism off you. And yeah, I'll just jump here. I should be able to deal out all my HP with rejuvenate this jump, so I don't need to maximize it on the previous. Alright. Not much I can buy here, so I'm just going to sell that. May as well put that on you. Necrobarge doesn't really do fires, so I don't really need to use the cryophone. Alright. But I could get level... Okay. As much as it pains me to do it, I'm gonna have to sell the cryophone for 1 scrap so I can get level 3 doors. I would always suggest upgrading doors at some point, especially if you're getting Necrobarge. It just helps a lot, having really strong doors against all those bloat mites. Anyway. Let's rejuvenate, and should be able to just jump. Though, I am 2 hull down, I should be able to repair it with Hull Reaper mid-fight though. The Huskray? Okay. This should be good, yeah. Alright, let's go. Alright. I'm gonna board immediately and grab a pawn, so I can just farm this Death Knight for as much damage as possible. Look at his health. Alrighty. Do I have short cast reagents? I do not. Cast time 4, cast time 4. Where are you? Okay. I want to interrupt these, if I can. So, I'll interrupt, like, this guy with the Fiend. I'll use Mind Bolt to interrupt the one here. The one on doors I'm actually fine with casting. This one, this guy's summoning, these are the Necrobarge, right? Yeah. Okay. Maybe that one. I can use Hypnosis on something. I think I'll use it on you. Just to do some lecture interruption. I'm gonna summon the Necrobarge on my own ship so I can help deal with these summons that are about to flood my ship. Oh, alright, Bloat Knight, Hunger, and Bloat Knight. Try to position this so that the bloat mite doesn't damage it before the guy goes up in flames. Alright, let's send you there. He's perfect for killing these ghouls with the custom instrument. A little shame that kind of slowed down. Should be able to kill that also if we can. Or did they all spawn? Okay. This one's in the worst position by far. Because the rest of them, I can really just walk up to them and kill them. Like, I kind of want to go here. Put that echo bridge there. Because you're, yeah, I got it. Conqueror will stay in launch bay for a little bit until the poison dissipates. Oh wait, fine. I just don't want that husk to die, because he has some of my Dark Matter Prisms. A Mind Bolt there. Just so I can reduce the repair rate by killing both of these guys. It's not gonna do any systemic because the system switch. Matter. Alright, I'm gonna... do I have Positron again? 4 seconds. Alright, let's Positron Missile Ray again. Some of these guys will work. I'm gonna just fire everything in the shield. I cannot afford that getting repaired before the phase change. I'm gonna set up my fusion charge, guys. Where's the other one? All the way over there. Okay. I want y'all to head here. You go on shields. Okay, nice. Well, not nice. Everything blew up. Oh wait, you're part of that boarding crew. Okay. Which one has it? Do you? Okay, hold on. Do you have? I want. You have what? I did the wrong asking you. Do you? Okay. I'm gonna do my teleporting here. I'm gonna cast shift these two right here, and I'll use the Death Knight to fight the one there. Alright, so you... Okay, you have the Dark Matter Prisms. You have Fusion. Okay, you need to go there. You operate. Where is my 4th border? I have 3. Oh, well. Okay. You are not going to teleport here. Oh, you're the wrong. Where are... Brother. You... Oh my gosh. Where are my... I can't keep track of these crew. Okay. I'm just gonna use the Death Knight. I don't want to use the Death Knight though. I'll use the Ashen Priest. Ah. Oh well. Okay. The main thing I need to get out of is to recover as soon as I possibly can so I can continuously do damage. You're gonna die. How much? Okay, this is... Okay, this just ran out. There. Close that. Positron. send all of these guys down here. I'm going to vent. I don't care about shield charger. I don't care if it is disabled or not. What I care about is keeping the systems repaired. Which shield charger will technically help me to do, but not significantly. Because I have one bar on my shields, I can just move my board. I'm going to move my boarding crew back here somewhere. And of course it eats that. Okay. I'm going to send you two here. With Death Knight, I need you to heal everyone and teleport. There we go. Dodge aside with some type of shield so it can do something against the storm, at least a little bit. I want to keep you alive if I can. Preferably. So I think I'll move you two to contest. And Mind Vault, so they just take a ton of damage. There's 3 of them in there. And then, yeah, just disable this and it should be fine. Now, you never want to crew kill these bosses completely. It's a very bad idea, activating the defender on these bosses. But as long as you keep a little bit of crew alive, it should be fine. Alright, so I'm gonna Rift Bomb here. How much poison do you have on you? Paris is getting fairly low, so I do need to be a little careful with her. I'm putting the Iron Tunneler preemptively on here so that, like, when the guys, the Revenants that are gonna come there to repair it, if they get a bar, won't immediately get back up. Back online. Asher Priest is not going to be okay. It was just to preemptively would account for any bullet mites that would spawn in there. Alright. Now I can find you. I think I'll rework you this time, just so I can suppress shield. Asher Priest guys. Active over there, the Necro Control will do a little bit. These Necro Electros have helped a fair bit dealing with these boat knights, along with combat husk. I want to health drops. Okay, that's not great. Hold on, I can pull Reaper right here and it'll be fine. Yeah, okay, that's it. It's Joker for them. Yep, there we go. little sketchy. Did lose 2 crew to poison, and I believe a bloat right here. So other than that, it wasn't too terrible. Yeah, alright. Yeah, scrap's fairly low. Alright, that'll be it. I'll see you around. Peace.